Listen up, man, because I'm about to keep it a buck with y'all like a goddamn dollar store up in this bitch. You read the title, right? Your favorite self-improvement figures are selling you a lie. Yes, sir, let me say that again for the people in the back. Listen up, my guy. Your favorite self-help, your favorite self-improvement figures, content creators, channels are selling you a fucking lie. Let that marinate in your motherfucking mind. Let that sink into your psyche. Because right now you might be wondering, okay, man, what do you mean by that? You're telling me my favorite content creators within the self-improvement community are selling me a lie? No, man, they're helping me improve my life. That's what it's all about, self-improvement, right? Relax. Relax. Relax, my guy. I'm gonna need you to just take a deep breath. Come on, do it with me. Get yourself grounded, because it's time for your boy to break this bitch down real quick like a brick for y'all. So first things first, what you must come to understand along this journey that we call life is that you have been fed false information about who and what you truly are. You have been fed this false sense of self. You have been fed this false identity. You have been fed this false ego that you correlate consciously as yourself. You have been fed this idea that all you are is simply just a brain and body. You have been fed this idea that all there is to life is simply what you can see on the surface level, what you can touch, what you can taste, what your 5 physical senses can actually accumulate and ingest within your mind. There is something far deeper to life, and there is something far deeper to your very existence. But what do you hear within the modern times that we are living in today? When you go online, the common form of advice that we see today is all about self-improvement. Self-improvement this, self-help that, video, book. All these content creators, these channels, are selling you a fucking lie, are selling you a facade. And they're not doing it purposely. I'm not attacking anybody's character with this. But I'm telling you the fucking truth that I wish somebody told me. Because what self-improvement does is simply strengthen that illusion, strengthen that facade of who you think you are. You see, you didn't choose your name, did you? You didn't choose your ethnicity, did you? You didn't choose your height, did you? None of these things you have chosen. And funny enough, all these things, your name, your body, your brain will one day disintegrate, dissolve, decease. And you have identified yourself so heavily with this concept, with these ideas, that this is who you are. And these concepts, these facades, these false identifications are simply just strengthened more and more by self-improvement. The whole philosophy, the whole genre, the whole community of self-improvement is simply making this false identity of who you think you are stronger. And at the same time, inevitably, making your connection to your true self, your spirit, your soul, disconnected even more and more. It starts to suffocate your spirit's connection to your consciousness more and more. Because what do you see in the self-help, self-improvement philosophy community, especially for the modern times that are all targeted towards young men? It's all centered around the 3 things that you would chase if all you think you are is just a brain and body. Survival, sex, status. That's what your favorite self-improvement guy is talking about. The Hamzas, the Andrew Tates, the this guy, the that guy, the red pillars, whatever you want to call them. Again, this ain't no personal attack. I could give a fucking care less about these motherfuckers. But what I'm telling you is the truth that I wish somebody told me. This whole idea of self-improvement is keeping you stuck within the matrix, within the Maya, within the illusion. You see Andrew Tate and all these guys talk about leaving the matrix and self-improvement is the way to do it. Funny enough, they're unplugging you out of one matrix just to plug you back into another one. The matrix of the material world, the matrix of consumerism, the matrix of carnality. You see, what allows you to transcend beyond that is not by improving yourself more and more and more. It's not about accumulating more and more and more. More muscles, more cars, more clothes, more hoes. That creates more attachments, funny enough. And these attachments are the things that block off your inner vision of what it is that you truly are beyond the brain and body, and what it is that you were really brought here to do, aside from just stimulating your senses. You were not brought here just to survive, chase sex, and achieve status. But that's what they'll tell you. This is what's going to bring you the most happiness in life. This is how you become an alpha male. This is how you become the top G. That's a fucking lie, bro. Because look at their lives. They need more and more and more of these things. More cars, more clothes, more hoes, more distractions. Because deep down, these people are depressed. Deep down, these people are anxious. Maybe not on a physical or psychological level, but on a spiritual level. The reason why they need more distractions, they need more material things, is because if they were taken away from that, they really had to meditate upon things, they'll realize how disconnected they were to their divine spark, their divine potential, aka their spirit and their soul. The thing, the force that animates your flesh, that activates your brain. This is simply just a vessel for the time being. This is not your nature. There's something beyond that. That self-improvement simply cannot show you. Self-improvement, funny enough, pulls you away from it. Because all you're thinking about is those things: survival, sex, status. Am I saying survival, sex, and status is bad, is evil? No. But when you make it your personality, when you make it your identity, when you make it a part of your ego, because you have been ingesting all this self-improvement content, you become a cog in the machine. You become a pawn on the chessboard. You lose your sovereignty. You become an NPC, a self-improvement NPC. You become somebody that is just following what everybody else is doing. You're following this figure. You're following their teachings. You're following their philosophy rather than actually forming your own. Because each and every single one of you guys has your own book of philosophy to write, your own pathway to fulfillment in life. But all of that gets pulled away from you. The rug gets pulled under you when you start to improve yourself. And when you hear about the word self-improvement, you think it's positive. What you need is not to focus more on self-improvement. What you need to truly succeed in this life is to focus your attention and energy towards fulfilling your soul, fulfilling your spirit. Yet the only way to do that is by mastering the self. Not improving the self, mastering the self. Because you are not in control of the self. You have no realization of what is the self. You're feeding more into this facade. And this facade is that false sense of self where all you think you are is just a brain and body. If you ask most young guys out there what they think they are and what's the purpose of life, it's going to be whatever they can regurgitate back out of their mouth from what they've been fed by these figures. They have no fucking conscious awareness of what their life is about. They want to go against their friends and family, cool. They're already broken out of one hive mind, but they just entered into another one. Life is about the Bugattis. Life is about the bitches. Life is about this. Life is about that. The biceps, bitches, and Bugattis. Write that down. Biceps, bitches, and Bugattis. That's all they fucking care about. And I don't blame them, because that's what they've been fed. What they've been fed by family, friends, society, school is totally something that they don't want. And I applaud most men for starting to realize that that's not what they want, but they've been plugged into something else that they don't want. They've just been sold a lie that this is what it means to be a man. What it means to be a true man is to be completely detached from the opinions and the objections of others. The true premise of divine masculinity, the highest form of masculinity, is detachment. This is exemplified by spiritual figures like Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is seen as the embodiment of divine masculinity. And he is seen meditating in a state of contemplation away from all the world. You know, the world will sell you what success means as a man. You gotta get these cars, clothes, money, hoes. You gotta get this job, that job. But you become less of a man the more that you follow into it, because you're letting another man tell you what success is. You're simply just another psychological bitch for society, for these self-improvement figures. They're telling you what success is in life. And there's a great quote from the Bhagavad Gita that truly expands upon this even more. And it is a saying where it states, it is better for you to fail trying to follow your dharma, which means your destiny, aka what it is you were really brought here to do before you got programmed by these self-improvement guys, by family, by society, by all these external things. It is that internal voice. It is better for you to follow that and fail doing it, than it is for you to succeed 100% by following somebody else's path. Let that sink into your mind for a second. It is better for you to fail following your own inner path, your own destiny, than it is for you to improve yourself, succeed in whatever they tell you to do. This is what life is really about. Life is about uncovering your own myth, uncovering your own story, uncovering your own purpose, not following somebody else's, not following the status quo, not just being a mere cog in the machine. It's about becoming sovereign. That's what you want as a man. Don't matter what age you are listening to this right now. You could be 14, 15, 16 years old, or you could be all the way to your 50. I don't care. What you want as a man is sovereignty. How do I know that? Because I want that. We are both the same in that sense. I just didn't know what that meant. I didn't know what that was all about. Sovereignty, autonomy. I'm not talking about financial freedom. Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. Most of the self-improvement people will talk about financial freedom, location freedom. I'm talking about psychological freedom. That's what you want. You want to be the master of the self rather than an improver of the self somebody else has fed you. You see the difference? Somebody has fed you this self and you're simply just a slave to improvement. Please, self, I'm a good boy. But a real divine masculine man, he's the master of the real self. I'm the one in charge. Like you watching Captain Phillips. Look, man, I'm the captain now, motherfucker. You become the captain of your own consciousness. That's what you want as a man. That's what leads to sovereignty. That's what leads to psychological autonomy. That's what leads you towards the path that will give you the most fulfillment in life, the most liberation in life. For some people, they hear that, oh man, a 9-to-5 job, that's being in the matrix, that's this and that. For some people, that is your destiny, that is your dharma, that is what's gonna bring you the most fulfillment and liberation. But what you've been taught by the self-improvement guys is that, no, man, you gotta be an entrepreneur out of the matrix, this and that. Maybe that's not your path. I think it is a very viable path, and it is probably the path for most people out there. But for some people, it's not. Yet they forget that. For some people, again, society, the matrix, the mind, the illusion pushes them towards the 9-to-5 path. And they just follow it because everybody else is doing it. You need to create your own story. Whether that's in the 9-to-5, out of the 9-to-5, becoming a monk, becoming a sage, becoming an NBA player, becoming a fucking doctor, whatever it is. You have a blueprint that will lead you to a life that has the most divine bliss that you could ever imagine. No amount of cars, money, clothes, or hoes will get you to that point. But self-improvement sells you that false, fake lie. That if you do these things, X, Y, and Z, all on the material plane, you'll be fulfilled. I don't care how many of these things that you have. You will not be truly fulfilled. You might fall into the illusion that, oh man, yeah, my senses are stimulated. I'm so satisfied in life. But guess what? You need more. This is what I call the never-ending hamster wheel of desires. It's a bottomless pit. Just because you're improving your life doesn't mean it'll ever stop. You're constantly upholding this expectation of this ego, of this identity that's not truly yours. What most people should be telling you about is that you have to dissolve this false sense of self. You have to destruct it. You have to go through a process of deconstruction. In Fight Club, there's a great quote that's literally about that. Self-improvement is masturbation. What most men need is self-destruction. Most people take it, oh man, you gotta destroy the self, this and that. They take it again, another fucking fantasy route. What he's talking about in self-destruction is you must detach yourself from this illusion of what you think you are instead of improving that facade. It's like paying off a car that you never even fucking wanted. Why do you keep paying it off? You didn't choose that car. Get rid of it. Get a new car. That's what the path of self-mastery is about. It's about ditching the old BS so you can actually be the master of the thing that you create now. Because within each and every single man is a divine blueprint that will lead you to your destiny, that will lead you to your dharma. You have forgotten it. And unfortunately, you have been looking externally for these things, externally for that blueprint. You listen to friends, you listen to family, you listen to society, you listen to your favorite self-improvement figures. You look at them as father figures. Oh, daddy, please tell me what to do. Grow a pair of balls, bro. Let your nuts hang, man. You already know the answers. That's why the spiritual path is the most masculine motherfucking path that you could imagine. All these self-help top G guys, stand them next to the saints, the sages, they might not look as masculine. The saints and sages. They're not the biggest, they're not the strongest. They don't got the Bugattis, they don't got the biceps, they don't got the bitches. You've been sold this lie that that's what it means to be a man. But if you stand them side by side, consciously speaking, one's a bitch to this material world, one's a bitch to Maya, one's a bitch to the expectations of other people, one's a bitch to the societal view of what success is, and the other one is the master of his own consciousness. These men, these real sages, these awakened masters, walk this life with no attachment, with no obligation, with no need, because they found true bliss within them. Your way to that point might not be becoming a renunciate monk, but what I'm saying is you have that path where you become so enveloped in a state of spiritual ecstasy. Because again, you realize you're not the brain and body. So instead of feeding the brain and body, not in a sense where you're not giving yourself food. Yes, eat your food, man. But not feeding it in a sense where it becomes your God. Because that's what self-improvement does. It makes survival, sex, and status your God. Because that's all it praises. That's all it teaches about. That's all it makes you focus on. Whatever you focus on the most becomes your God. Self-improvement does that, but self-mastery, the spiritual path, makes you realize that there's something beyond this. It gets you closer to the true God, the force that resides within you, that spiritual state of ecstasy and bliss that resides within each and every single man. And there's a pathway, there's a gateway that will bring you back to that conscious state of Godhood. Again, it might be through creating a business, it might be through going the 9-to-5 path, it might be becoming a doctor, it might become an athlete, it might be becoming a renunciate monk. I don't know your dharma, I don't know your destiny. You were already designed by the motherfucking divine to follow this path, but you have forgotten it again because all you think that you are is a brain and body. That's what you've been programmed, that's what you've been fed to believe by your upbringing. The true path of the divine masculine man breaks that. The top G versus the saint, the sage, totally different. One is upkeeping this image of the alpha man, so they get the external validation from society. That, oh man, you are an alpha. Yeah, I am an alpha. You take away half these things, man, these guys are fucking losers. You take away everything from the sage, he already doesn't have anything to hold on to. You see the difference? He don't hold on to anything. He's let go of everything. Yet he's still there, standing 10 toes down. Like a G, like a true G. The G-O-D that he is. Not the top G, I'm talking about a G-O-D. A true God. He has awakened the God within him. Because God doesn't come from these external things. Yes, you're able to find in the external world, but it isn't awakened through external means. You see what I'm saying? You picking up what the fuck I'm putting down, man? I wish somebody told me this and slapped me into my senses back when I was a little younger, you know? Self-improvement is a fucking lie, bro, they're selling you. You're never going to be truly happy by following these ideas because there is only your specific path that will lead to your specific version of bliss. My path is totally different than yours. But at the end of the day, we're walking up the same mountain, and that same mountain is the mountain of self-mastery. That's what we talk about here on this channel, the main channel, The Philosopher. If you don't know about that main channel, bro, you are missing out. Because over there, we drop in our documentary style content, our nice edited content. It goes in depth and in detail to all these different types of topics. If you like the raw, uncut, and unfiltered content, that's what we cook up over here on The Philosopher Files, the second channel. But if you want more in-depth, clean-cut, documentary-style content, that's what we do on the main channel, The Philosopher. If you haven't seen it yet, man, check out the description box down below because you'll find the link to The Philosopher main channel page right there for you. And underneath it is a link to my Instagram if you ever want to DM me, chop it up, and talk about these different types of concepts and topics. My DMs is always open, man. So just shoot a message and we'll talk about everything, man. Because not a lot of people are on this path. Not a lot of people will click with this message. But for the ones who are ready to break free from the facade, the fake lies of self-improvement, and actually walk the mountain of self-mastery, that's what this is all about, man. This channel, the main channel, my Instagram, if you want to DM me, description box down below. All those links are right there. Make sure you'll run it up. The stuff that we talk about on the private Patreon community, man, let's take a quick pause, matter of fact. Quick pause, because again, if I'm talking to those true, devoted men who are ready to actually tap into their divine potential, to actually walk on the path that will break them free from this illusion of this false sense of self and actually realize what it is that they are beyond the brain and the body and what they were really brought here to do aside from just chase survival, sex, and status, I need you right now, if you're one of those men, to find the closest mirror to you. I'll wait. I can wait all day, motherfucker. I don't care if it's in your car mirror. I don't care if it's in a window. I don't care if it's in your selfie camera of your phone. Go find that mirror and take a good hard look in it. Take a nice mental picture of the man that's staring right into your eyes and staring right into your motherfucking soul when you look into that mirror. Get a good click-clack Kodak moment and let that picture, that mental picture, marinate in your mind. Really let it sink into your psyche, because I need you to realize that that person that you see staring right into your eyes, and staring right into your soul, when you look in the mirror, you're doing him, not me. You're doing that motherfucker a huge disfavor by not joining up into the private Patreon community yet. If you're someone who's truly serious about this path, if you're a true spiritual aspirant, if you're ready to break free from the illusions of self-improvement. Because within there, man, we are truly going in depth and in detail to uncovering this esoteric science of self-mastery. I'm talking about exclusive videos that you're gonna find on this channel, you ain't gonna find on the main channel. Matter of fact, you ain't gonna find it anywhere else on the internet, because it's some real deal game, real deal sauce for your motherfucking brain to help you elevate on every single plane. You dig what I'm saying? I'm talking about your mind, body, and soul. If you're already enjoying the talks that we have on this channel or the main channel, your mind is gonna be blown with what we cooking up over on the private Patreon community. But not only do you get access to all those exclusive videos, but also access to our full guides, our in-depth occult lectures, our digital libraries, and most importantly, if you tap into the Philosopher Circle, aka the highest membership tier group within the private Patreon community, you'll get an invitation to our private group chat where we host our bi-weekly mastermind live calls. Yes, sir, you heard me right. Bi-weekly mastermind live calls where you hop on a call with me as well as a community of like-minded men who are also on this path to self-mastery, who realize the facade of self-improvement. If you're ready to break free, if you're ready to upgrade beyond that surface level of improving this false sense of self, and you're ready to dive deep to uncovering what it is and who it is that you truly are, past all the programming, past all the influence from these figures, your true identity and your true purpose. That's what this community is all about. If you want to be surrounded with people like that, we're going to hold you accountable along the journey. We want to see you elevate and eventually want to see you spiritually liberate. I'm telling you, man, the Philosopher Circle is the place for you, my guy. I can 100% assure you that, guarantee you that. But if you need any more information about the Philosopher Circle and the private Patreon community as a whole, check out the link posted in the pinned comment of this video, not the description box. Remember, description box is where you'll find the link to my main channel, The Philosopher, as well as my Instagram. I'm talking about the pinned comment. Just scroll in the comment section. You'll find it right there. Click that link. You'll be forwarded to our page. And from there, you'll find access to the private Patreon community as well as to the other links I provide for the other services, such as application forms for my personalized coaching program. Look, if you're someone who's truly, truly serious about this path, you're ready to really take that leap of faith, ready to really take your life to the next level by dropping this false sense of self, by dropping all the karmic baggage, by dropping away all the programming. You're ready to detox. You're ready to disintegrate. You're ready to detach from all these degenerate habits that come about being a slave to survival, sex, and status that is derived from being in the illusion, being under this facade of this false sense of self that is uplifted and upheld by self-improvement. And if you're ready to break free from all those karmic chains, dissolve your karmas to instead discover your dharma, aka discover your destiny by dissolving all the baggage that's holding you back from your divine potential, this is what this coaching program is specifically all about. Because within this, we have a one-on-one personalized approach where you'll be working with me directly to help guide you along this journey towards rediscovering your true nature by first renouncing all the BS that's holding you back. Because again, this spiritual journey, this path of self-mastery is not about learning anything new. You already know who you are. You already know what it is you're brought here to do. You have just been stuck in that state of spiritual amnesia. You forgot, and that's why you've been looking externally for the answers. I'm not here to give you any answers externally. I'm here to dissolve all the BS, all the karmas that is blocking you from ever discovering the answers that already reside within you by systemizing a whole approach using all the esoteric sciences of self-mastery to help you ascend up that mountain. So again, if you're interested and you're really ready to take your life to the next level, shoot me an application form right there and we'll see if your entry meets the criteria and qualifications for this coaching program. But if you just want to book a one-time call with your boy to discuss anything that you're dealing with personally to help you get back on the right track towards realizing your true self, we got a consultation call booking right there too as well. So all that good stuff, again, posted in the pinned comment of this video. Just click that link, you'll be forwarded to our page, and from there you can pick and choose which one of these services best suits you. But like I was saying, all the stuff that we talk about on this channel, the main channel, The Philosopher, again, description box down below, especially on the private Patreon community, especially within my personalized coaching program, is all about remembering who it is that you are. Remembering what it is that you were really brought here to do. No longer improving this false sense of self, because the more you improve it, the stronger it gets. The stronger it gets, the more you disconnect to that true self. Because your dharma is always there. Your true self is always there. I always bring up this analogy. It's like the sun. The sun is always out. It doesn't matter if it's overcast, it don't matter if it's cloudy, it don't matter if it's rainy or snowing. That is your true authentic self. That has not been programmed yet. That has not been filtered with a bunch of BS yet. That's always there. But what's covering up the sun when it's cloudy? It's the clouds. It's the rain, it's the snow. But on the metaphysical aspect with this analogy, it is your karmas. These karmas are the attachments you create to the material world. Because you believe that all you are is the brain and body, so what do you think? Only the things that satisfy or stimulate the senses is gonna make me happy. So you become a slave to sex, a slave to survival, a slave to status, because it strokes the ego. Self-mastery breaks those chains, breaks those karmic bonds. That allows your consciousness to elevate to those higher states where you can finally stimulate those psychic centers, where you start to remember what it is that you are. You go beyond, transcend the brain and body, and become who it is you're always meant to be. Embody your true essence. It's not an easy path. Depending on where you've been looking at when it comes to spirituality, self-improvement, this is not all fucking sunshines and rainbows. This is a path of walking into the spiritual fire of truth, where it burns off all the baggage, all the bullshit, but most people are still holding on to it. You need to learn to let go. Stop improving. The more you improve is the more bags you're holding onto your hands, more karmic baggage. What we must do is let go, let go, let go, let go. Let go and let God speak through you, not to you, speak through you. Because when you start to elevate your consciousness to those states beyond the brain and body, beyond the confines of carnality, aka believing that all you are meant to do in life as a man, that all these self-improvement guys tell you is survive, sex, and status. When you break past that, the voice of your inner self, your inner guide, starts to increase. And it gives you the blueprints, it gives you the details. Again, I don't know your dharma, nobody does. No self-improvement content creator, no guru, no nobody. You ain't gonna find it on a podcast, you ain't gonna find it in a self-help book. You will find it within the self. Not the false sense of self, the self. And it requires you to pull your attention back internally. The world around you is designed to siphon that energy externally. All the things that we talk about, again, here on this channel, the main channel, the Patreon community, within my coaching program, practices like celibacy, meditation, pranayama, fasting, all these things pulls that energy, focus, and attention that is being pulled externally back to the self. Because when it's back to the self, you start to illuminate those higher centers. Those higher centers is where your dharma resides. You must clear up those karmas, clear up the clouds, and the sun is always there. It'll be shining right there for you. So what are you waiting for? Most people are still too attached to all these things. They've been so infested within self-improvement that they can't break free from it. This will start to happen more and more to people than you can even realize. Self-improvement is a fucking trap, and it's a facade, and it's selling you a lie. Most people don't realize it yet, but come back to this video a couple years, man. Couple years, couple months, whatever it is. You'll be like, yeah, this motherfucker was right. I was never been my true self. I just followed whatever the new fad was, the new trend was. Being a top G, being an alpha male, now it's this, now it's that. When are you gonna start living the life that you're meant to live? That's already scripted by the design to give you the path towards true fulfillment. You already have a foolproof way to succeed in life and fulfill your soul. You just forgot it. Time to reawaken to it, but that reawakening process requires renunciation, requires going up the right-hand path of self-mastery. So for all those people that made it this far into the video, I want you to realize, if you're in the self-improvement sphere, the self-improvement community, you must learn to stop as soon as possible. Not for me, who gives a shit if you watch my content or not. I'm telling you right now a message that I wish I got. You gotta stop that as soon as possible. Because you're just upholding this false sense of self. If you want true happiness, true fulfillment in life, you must rediscover that divine self that lies underneath the surface. Self-improvement only helps you improve the surface. It don't go in depth. Self-mastery is the tool, the journey, the path for those that are ready to go in depth. All these ancient teachings have already told us. Remember, everything that I'm saying right now has already been said and done. Forget about the messenger, focus on the message itself. Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 9, there is nothing new under the sun. What I'm saying right now has been said and done multiple times. My job for the time being, my dharma, my destiny, is to revive this ancient wisdom, revive this ancient knowledge, revive the teachings from these true sages, these mystics, these monks who have mapped out the science that will bring mankind back to a state of divine bliss and bring it into the modern day world for the modern day man to have it more practical and more applicable into his life, for him to just infuse it. These things are dense, man, but the way your boy breaks it down is how you're supposed to allow this ancient wisdom, this ancient knowledge to be infused within the modern day world. So don't take it from me. Do your own research. But I'm telling you right now, self-improvement is a facade. It's telling you a lie. And if you really truly want to realize what it is that you were really brought here to do and what life is actually about from your story, your lens, your angle, your own philosophy. Look, man, I created my own philosophy. You got to do that too. And if you made it this far into the video, there's a reason. This stuff is clicking. You are graduated from self-improvement. You're ready to drop it. Most people would have already clicked off. I always say the people that watch this channel in specific, the second channel, aka the Philosopher Files, right here in the field, in the flesh, dropping y'all that game so you guys can make these gains. You dig what the fuck I'm saying? No cuts, no edits, just straight up speaking off the dome. You guys are already in the 1 percentile of the population that's not suffering from brain rot. Most people would have clicked off this video, but if you add on top of that the density of the topics that we talk about here, there is a reason you're in the position to finally rediscover your true nature. Most people are stuck in self-improvement and will remain stuck in self-improvement and will remain in the cycle of chasing survival, sex, and status. If you want to taste a little bit of that divine nectar, you want to taste a little bit of that spiritual ecstasy, you must master the self. You must overcome your compulsive habits. You must go beyond what these people are trying to feed you and start to find your true self. And that requires you to, again, retract the energy and attention inwards. Through all the practices, again, that we talk about here, the main channel, the Patreon, again, coaching program. If you're really ready, the link is right there for you in the pinned comment. We don't talk about self-improvement there. We're on the path to self-mastery over there. There's some high-level stuff, but I need you to realize that, yes, this stuff might be making sense to you. You might understand what I'm saying, but you are not truly going to ever understand it until you actually allow this knowledge to be turned into gnosis, aka knowledge that is only accumulated from within. Knowledge is up in the mind, gnosis resides in the heart. That transmission is done through first-hand experience. You must get out there in the field, in the flesh, and go about it. You must detach yourself from self-improvement, detach yourself from all these self-improvement figures, and funny enough, you'll come back to this video and be like, yes, this motherfucker was right. Again, forget about the messenger, bro. I don't care if I'm right. I'm giving you the right knowledge. I'm giving you the right path to righteousness. Do with it whatever you want. But there's a reason why this clicks. There's a reason why you didn't click off this video yet. I know I'm entertaining. I know I look good. But come on now, man. You didn't waste 30 plus minutes of your life watching me yap. No, this shit clicked. And I want it to click not only up in your mind, but in your heart. Because when you make that click, that's when you make the motherfucking shift. Self-improvement is filling you up with lies, facades. If you truly want to be fulfilled in life, it doesn't come from being stuck on the surface level and improving that false sense of self. It comes through dissolving, detoxing, disintegrating this illusion and get right back down into your core essence. That's the inward journey that is the path of self-mastery. So let's leave it off right there. Let this stuff marinate in your mind. Let it sink into your psyche. Stop at the self-improvement and let's start up on this path of self-mastery. It's been your boy out here in the field, in the flesh, dropping y'all that game so you guys can make these gains. I'm out here. Peace.